It's been referred to as a traditional final between two of the great hurling powers. A little bit ironic that, after all the changes that we've seen over the last 20 years. A little bit ironic too, in that there's been something of a change with tradition down in Cork. Now, for years, the city was regarded as the power base of the game, with such powerful clubs as the Glen, the Bars and the Rockies, providing a seemingly endless supply of talent to some all-conquering Cork teams. But times are changing in the rebel county. The pendulum has swung away from the city. East Cork clubs now rule the roost, and almost half of the panel come from the Imokilly division. Marty Morrissey now reports.
It's the first time that I've noticed the words Cork written on the Cork jerseys. Of course, this is a very special day, a very special All-Ireland.
From Oswald Cahy, Pat Fleury, and there's a nice pass in now. Jimmy Berryworth with his shot in it. It's a goal! And Jimmy Berryworth made his shot in earring. The old firm were back in tune.
I began playing with the senior team in 1971 and played up to 1984, and we contested 7 All-Ireland finals and we won 4 and lost 3. 3 finals to Kilkenny, coincidentally. We've moved away from Omens and tradition to a certain extent, and you know, we have 2 new teams and with new players, and I don't think that anyone will be looking back at the 70s and the 80s or even the early 90s, the last time that Cork and Kilkenny played, when Kilkenny won. Teams have come from nowhere in the last 10 to 15 years, be it in hurling and football. Tradition has, while it's important, I think it's gone out the window to a certain degree.
And that trend has continued in O'Leary's own county. The team selector, in a moment of high drama here before the 77 All-Ireland final, has guided the East Cork divisional side Imokilly to top spot locally. Now, as he shares selectorial duties with former teammates, he highlights the strength of hurling in East Cork generally, and not just Imokilly.
We have a fair amount of players from the East Cork division, but they wouldn't all be representing Imokilly. You know, their own clubs would be senior, like SARS would be a long-established senior club, Middleton as well now, you know, so hurling is strong in East Cork, certainly, there isn't a doubt about that. But I think that the players get on well with each other, which I think is more important than where they're from. You know, there's no rivalry, there's none of the old mad rivalries between any of the clubs, I think, at this stage. And you know, once the players got together at the start of the year, it didn't really make any difference where they were from. And I think players realised that, you know, everything was being based as much as we could on form and contributions fellas could make, whether it was in different positions or in different aspects of the team. And you know, that has led to a great spirit within the camp.
And nowhere is that spirit more alive than in Cloyne. Once a part of the Imokilly setup, the club now stands on its own, having reached senior status, as hurling thrives once more beneath that famous round tower. The county's famous colours, proudly referred to as the Blood and Bandage, fly high in celebration of their latest achievements. And the legend that Christy Ring started all those years ago is being carried on amazingly by another member of the family.
I'm Christy Ring's first cousin. He was really special because I'm telling you that there was a door over there. No, there was an old garage there one time. And there was a latch in that garage door. And I used to see that young fella. And he aiming for that latch. And that latch he hit every time.
Being related to Christy Ring in any way would make you proud, you know, that's a great thing to have in your own head, you know, going out wearing a Cork jersey, you know. Every time you mention you're from Cloyne, they obviously say that, oh yeah, that's the home of Christy Ring. So I suppose it is in your mind, you know. It's not going to hinder you in any way, so it can only be good for you, you know. It is almost 10 days to the game now, and you can see the banners and flags that are around the town, you know. You know, it's great for a small place like Cloyne to have 2 fellas playing on the starting 15, you know, so there is plenty of excitement around the place.
Goalkeeper Donald Cusick and fullback Diarmuid O'Sullivan, the latest to emerge from Cloyne, where the locals have their own shrine to perhaps the greatest hurler of them all. A man apart Ring certainly was. The stories abound about his dedication, skill and competitive spirit. In a career that spanned more than 20 years, he played against the biggest names in the game and became the first man to win 8 senior All-Ireland medals. But the giant from Cloyne played his hurling with the famous Cork City club Glen Rovers. Now almost half of the county panel play in the east of the county.
In the last couple of years, probably with the emergence of Imokilly, you know, a lot of the panel, probably most of the panel are from East Cork, you know, and probably going on from Imokilly when the senior competition, you know, intermediate clubs and junior clubs felt in that they could take the power away from the city, you know, and that's the way it has happened in the last couple of years, you know.
A point emphasised at the presentation of the Cup after this year's Munster final win over Clare. This had Mark Landers whooping with delight. Ian McKillie, captain, was proud of the achievement, but he and his teammate Joe Dean were very conscious of their roots.
It's a great honour for my club here in Killa. I think the two of us will be the first people to play in an All-Ireland final. We also have Bernard Rochford, who's the sub-goalkeeper, so it is a huge achievement for a club that was junior back in 1995 to have 3 members of the Cork senior hurling team playing in an All-Ireland final, and it is a huge tribute to the underage structure, I suppose, that was here in our club for the last 15 to 20 years.
It's down to a point. Waterford a goal and a point to Mark Landers, the Cork captain. And as ever, a captain led by a...
Landers is grateful for the support of locals in Killa as he battles to be fit for next Sunday. He's aware of the well-established club structures, but sees another reason for the emergence of such talent in East Cork.
2 colleges, in particular, St. Coleman's and Midland CBS, make up a good abundance of the panel that are playing in the All-Ireland final. So I suppose, I mean, it does start at underage with everybody's club, but it then comes to a stage where you're going to be playing colleges hurling, and you're going to be hurling 3 or 4 times a week with the college, and then you're coming home to play hurling with your own club in the evening. So I suppose that has an awful lot to do with it. You then progress on to the Cork Minors or whatever minor team you're involved with, and I suppose it snowballs from there.
Landers fends off a hard challenge from Brian Green. Landers to go for his score from way out the field. Tremendous drive by Landers, the captain of Cork.
I won't even discuss about winning here at the moment, to be honest with it. Just to get to the final is going to be a huge occasion. It's a great day for my family. It's a great day for the club here in Killa. I suppose it's a great day for the honour and the prestige of the McKillie division. At the moment, obviously, Marty, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'm going to make the game and that I'll be fit to play. At the moment, I have no more than a 50-50 chance, but hopefully, with the will of God, that I'll be able to play on Sunday and that I'll lead Cork out in 1999.
To Timmy McCarthy. His pace is causing Brian Green problems this afternoon. Bergen McCormick is free inside him. Can McCarthy go all the way and take his own score? Yes!
The flying Timmy McCarthy, seen here as a minor with Cork's All-Ireland winning side of '95, bears testimony to Landers' opinion of the role the colleges have played in the development of this latest Cork side. His path to the top has also gone through the divisional levels as he collected junior, intermediate and then senior championship medals with his East Cork clubs.
I'm a farmer by trade, and I live up here around Castlines. As you can see, the village is just down here, and Bride's Bridge is the nearest one, and Castlines is the further off one. You have the creamery and you have the pitch to the right of it. Myden is in further past the Corn Cross, or Cornhill as we like to call it. You have Middleton up this direction then, and Rathcormac over here. And all around here then will be my land, just around here. We've a dairy herd with some sheep and a bit of tillage. Hurling to me, I suppose, is it's a game, you know, it's a nice sport to have. I enjoy it, I like playing it. It's more as a hobby. I wouldn't say I take it that seriously, but I like to enjoy it. It's nice to be up here, actually, around this part of the farm, because you have a great view, you know, you can just lose yourself in the view and just think your thoughts, whatever, and it's nice, like, you know, and I enjoy it. I like the scenery and things around here, but if you're ever bored or want something to do, just go for a walk and look at the cattle or something.
But despite his laid-back approach, McCarthy has no doubt about one aspect of the Cork side. A team holiday last January in Lanzarote helped create a great spirit.
Oh, there is, yeah. Especially Lanzarote, like, you know, we went out, you lived with each fella for maybe a week, you know, and you got to know fellas better that you wouldn't get to know in a way, like, and I think we enjoyed it. We had a great crack, you know, we really did enjoy it, and I think since that holiday we've really got on well as a team, and we're having a good crack and a joke and the whole lot.
Sean O'Gara has been covering for Cork. Has been a little bit subdued there, Sean O'Gara has been so far in the game, but it's coming a bit better for him now with Brian Corcoran in support. Corcoran to make a run and to lift Cork. Dan Shanahan going back, but Corcoran making great space for himself. Great drive by Corcoran, inspirational!
You know, we have a long history back to the 60s, and you know, we've had a lot of great players who have brought the club up through junior and intermediate ranks up to senior. We've been senior now for the last 10 years or so, and I think, you know, our main achievement really at senior ranks was winning the Cork County Championship in '92. In McKillie have been dominating the championship, and you know, they're going for 3 in a row this year. And the intermediate, obviously that team is made up of intermediate and junior clubs in East Cork, and those clubs are going very well in their own championships. So you know, I suppose that the balance has come away from the city a bit, but you know, we still have strong club teams in the city, but club teams are finding it hard to compete with the divisional sides when you have a team like Imikilly with a pick of the whole of East Cork. So a lot of people are criticising the fact that the divisional sides are getting too strong, but if Imikilly weren't in the county championship, you could see a very different Cork team. You know, at the end of the day, for the county team, it doesn't really matter where the players come from, as long as there's a strong team there. Well, I suppose it is a bit disappointing that I've been playing football for the last 6 years, and you know, the one year I give it up is the year to get to the final. But you know, I have the consolation that the hurlers are there. I think it would be a lot harder for me personally if the hurlers had been beaten earlier on. You know, at the start of the year, if you had told me that the footballers would be in the final, I obviously wouldn't have given up the football. But you know, I made my decision, and I have to live by that at this stage, and I'll settle for a hurling medal this year.